One coach speaks about a very scary experience. One team makes a change at the top. And one player's shorthanded efforts place him in the record book. Celebrate a brand new year with a brand new episode of ECHL Week, now!
Hi, welcome to another edition of ECHL Week. Coming to you this time from the Scope Arena in Norfolk, Virginia, home of the Norfolk Admirals. We've got a great show lined up today. Let's get started. Attention from around the hockey world was focused on the ECHL after one of the most alarming occurrences at a game this season took place in Moline, Illinois on November 17th. About midway through the second period of the game between Tulsa and Quad City, Oilers head coach Rob Murray collapsed on the bench.
We had multiple real long bus rides, and it was maybe a little bit of nutritional factors that went into it, but I did have a blood clot in my lung that surfaced and caused me to pass out on the bench, and it was very scary.
I think we were ready for an extended road trip, but when Murray went down, I think it made it feel about 4 times longer. We struggled without him, and I think it shows how important he is to the team.
Everything that happened with Murray, we kind of came together there, and 14 games on the road in a row is something you don't really think about in the summer, but then you see it and you're, oh geez, but no, it's been fun.
Quite honestly, I really found how much the guys like me, I guess is the best way to put it, that there was a real kind of falling off when I was away, and when I returned, I really felt the energy come back. Actually, I really didn't even want to be away, but it was doctor's orders.
With what happened to Murr, and we were all pretty choked up about that. But when he came back, I think everybody was really excited and re-energized.
With Murr, that was a big scare going down, and we all stayed tight and held on strong for him. And when he was back, we had a little slump there when he was gone, and we wanted to play really well for him, and we tried. But when he came back, that was a big push for us.
I'm 50 years old now, and I feel like I'm in really good shape still. Yet, you never know these underlying medical situations that you might run into, and so I've changed my diet, exercising more, and doctors have me on blood thinners, and so hopefully it's a one and done, that never happens again.
A history-making effort is part of our news from around the league. Next on ECHL Week.
If you feel that passion is just a start, if you think practice is never over, if you believe speed limits are just for highways, and Saturday mornings aren't made for cartoons, if you try, fail, learn, laugh, repeat, compete, respect, and unite, then you belong on our team. Join now at team.ccmhockey.com.
Let's take a look at news from around the ECHL. Indy's Tommy Olczyk had an unforgettable night last weekend. He became just the 4th player in ECHL history to score 3 shorthanded goals in one game. His unusual hat trick helped the Fuel to a 7-4 win over Cincinnati, which put a halt to the Cyclones' 4-game winning streak. Olczyk has 8 goals this season, including 2 power play markers. Tommy is the son of longtime NHL centerman and current broadcast analyst Ed Olczyk. The Quad City Mallards have agreed to part ways with President and General Manager Bob McNamara. McNamara joined the Mallards in 2012, prior to their ECHL days, after spending more than 2 decades as an executive with teams in the American and International Hockey Leagues. Mallards owner Jordan Melville said, "I look forward to leading the organization as we begin the next phase of the franchise's growth and as we continue building on what we've accomplished over the last 5 years." Quad City is in its 21st season of play, 4th as an ECHL member. One of the longest tenured broadcasters in the ECHL is Matt Melzak of the Toledo Walleye. We recently sat down with Matt to discuss lots of topics relating to the league, including his assessment of some of the teams he's seen this season.
We saw Adirondack for 2 games in their building this year. Very skilled team. Kind of like the way their parts as far as skill goes. I think they could use a few things, but I think they're a very talented team in the other conference that we saw on our long Eastern trip this year. Reading came back on us in the third period to win a game on a Thursday night there, and their numbers have continued to get better as the season has gone along. I think they've got another good program going there in Reading. As far as teams we've seen multiple times, I think you have to like Fort Wayne when they've played us. Now, maybe when they've played other teams, it has not been as good, but they certainly have, as far as offense, defense, and goaltending with Hauser and net, that they could be very good this year. Cincinnati has impressed me defensively. I think they're extremely good on the D side of the ice with their goaltending to go along. As long as Peters stays in there for them, I think they're very good. We see a little bit more of the other conference with playing Wheeling a little bit more, who's got a very solid group. I don't think they have too many holes, so to speak. I don't know if they have a lot of elite players, but man, they have got a very solid group there. It's going to win a lot of games this year. We had a couple of very difficult games with them earlier this season.
You can listen to the entire podcast featuring Matt Melzak on the ECHL Week Speak SoundCloud page. Make sure to check out that podcast. It'll drop on New Year's Day.
A thrilling highlight game. Plus, we hear from the broadcaster of a Central Division team when ECHL Week continues.
Garrett Hunt of the Jacksonville Icemen. You're watching the #1 source for ECHL news, ECHL Week.
I'm DJ Masello, radio broadcaster for the Wheeling Nailers. You never know when you may see an ECHL broadcaster or head coach at a game near you when their team is off for the night.
I'm Jeff Christian, head coach of the Wheeling Nailers. Now it's time for the highlight game of the week.
Whitney surveys for reinforcements, and Sandlak pulled it free. Down the right wing side, trying to beat Zajac. His shot, saved by Dukaitis. Rebound, score! Sandlak picks up the tally for Greenville. It's his 3rd goal of the season. And Leach trying to fend off Gogo. Went for the hard one. Now Gogo got caught with one on the right. Comes across with a big right. Oh, what a big bomb there by Kurt Gogo. It's Connick down the right wing side. He's running a couple posts, and his shot! Rebound scored by Basaraba! Great tee up, and the alternate captain Basaraba doesn't miss from there. Oh, Magali, quick pass across. It's Zajac back for Simonelli, and a long shot saved by River. Rebound bounced around, and they score. A power play goal by Tim Magali. His 3rd of the year, as that's tucked just inside of the post. Sandlak tied up at the line. As that shot came in front, they score. Magali again for the Stingrays. Looks for help. Patrick Goldslide down with it though. Put it from the far side. And down in front. Oh, another save on Marcus Perrier by Ty River. 2 goals for South Carolina. Picks it up and moves to the left side. Way wide. Past the dots that curls right back in the slot. Shot goal, and he scores. Cuts right to the slot on the backhand forehand. What a save by Jeff Dukaitis. Simonelli one-on-one with River. He picks it up from neutral ice. Comes to the left side, down to the slot, and he scores, and that is it.
Hi, I'm Brad Tapper of the Adirondack Thunder, and you're watching ECHL Week.
It's time for Voices of the ECHL. Today, Joe Roberts of the Kalamazoo Wings. Do you have a favorite road city in the ECHL?
I would say it's probably a toss-up between the South Carolina cities. I really love Greenville, and I really love Charleston. There's so much history in Charleston with those brick-lined streets and the narrow roads and the beautiful homes with such intricate details on the trim and stuff like that. It's just gorgeous down there. And then I also I love Fort Myers. When we went down to play the Everblades for 3 games last year, obviously I enjoyed it. It was nice to be able to play golf in March when in Michigan that's not really a thing that you get to do.
What types of exercises do you do prior to a game?
If coffee and shooting the breeze with the coaching staff is a vocal exercise, then yeah, I do it all the time. But no, not really. I don't know if that makes me sound dumb or less prepared, but I'm kind of just riding it right now, and I like to think that my body keeps up with me. So far, so good. So one of these days I might be on the hot tea and lozenge diet, but in the meantime, no, nothing special or out of the ordinary.
What was your most memorable moment?
Last year's playoff series against Toledo. Game 7 in this building, we lost the game. I think 3-1 was the final. It ended our season. It was an unbelievable series, a total dogfight. And Game 7, I remember just like, I felt like I was a player almost. I felt like I had invested as much as everybody else, and so during the anthem I'm doing a little bit of a wiggle and trying to stay loose. I didn't sit down at all during the game. I was calling the game with Jimmy Mullen, one of our forwards. We were high-fiving and fist-bumping when we scored, and good things were happening for our way. We ended up losing the game, and Toledo gave us a proper send-off, which was their fans yelling at me on their way up and passing the press box, which is fine because it's all in good fun and it's all part of that rivalry and competition, but I will never forget that series.
That wraps up another edition of ECHL Week from Norfolk, Virginia. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out all our social media channels to keep up to date on what's going on in the ECHL between programs. And listen to ECHL Week Speak, our new podcast. See you next time.